the type of man, like he really is a gentleman. It's so much he could have said, and people would have understood. But he's not trying to put her out there like that. You understand what I'm saying?
Hey guys, and welcome back to Little Black Book. You already know what time it is, baby. If you're new to the channel, make sure you like, share, subscribe, and click on that bell button for the notifications of the uploads when they're coming, baby. If you're a returnee to the channel, Are you mad, you lean gege? Listen, you got the power. Listen, are you mad, brother? Let's get into the video. Listen, we're gonna talk to you guys about the Reva, the Reva interview that's been going on. You know what I'm saying? Shout out Enchanted PR. She actually sent me the link when she actually uploaded it, so I really appreciate that as well. God bless you for that as well. So watching this interview, where do I even start? Where do I start, baby?
I met Tandy. I met Tandy 5 years ago through a mutual friend. Okay. Tandy and I had like zero dealings during that time. We've never had a phone conversation during that time. We've never like hit each other up like, hey, let's hang out. I think I saw her maybe 3 times out in the club where I see everybody else from Atlanta. And it's like, oh, hey girl, we kept it moving. All right.
In 5 years, that's all.
5 years, that's it. Okay.
Let's start at the very beginning. Okay, so let's put our position across. Like, where do we stand? Okay, now all of us who are audience members, you guys already know, yeah? I want you to comment down below when I drop my statement. How did we feel about watching the reunion in regards to Reva and Tondy, yeah? Now, I want you to state how you felt and what you were annoyed by, because I wasn't annoyed, I've already done the video anyway, but I wasn't annoyed about Reva being a friend to Tondy, and that's why she went with Mario, and that being the issue. That wasn't my issue. First of all, I didn't think they were friends anyway, because Reva done said, we're not friends. So as far as I'm concerned, they ain't friends. But for me, the issue wasn't necessarily Reva and Tondy being friends. Nah, my issue was that on that day, there was a lot of vibranium energy that was going round. You understand? Because for the moment for Mario to leave the seat, stand up, cross the borders, okay, transatlantic oceans, yeah, to come and sit beside Reva, could have left it there. But they didn't. Reva decided to do a song and a dance, yeah, best go on. Not as far as I'm concerned, when I'm watching it like that, not only that, there was a comment that Tondy made about she never really considered anything, like her and Mario's energy was so good that she never really considered you know, any kind of threat or whatever. And Reva makes a smile like you should have, I should have been the one you was worrying about, kind of thing. Do you know what I'm saying? But when this is all played out a bit weird, because it wasn't long ago Reva was done here coming out saying, Tondy, be careful of Mario. See, it's just looking bad, Reva. I'm not saying that you are doing anything, but it's all looking a bit mad. So when you see it like that, now I know the edits can be a little bit of some way. Don't ever get it twisted. People can cut out certain stuff and make it look a certain way. Don't get it twisted. But on 1, on 2, and 3 different occasions, come on. They are only using what they are seeing. You know what I mean? So for me, my issue with Reva and Mario, it's not just with Reva, it's Reva and Mario, is the way they handled it on the reunion. Now, what I do agree with Reva,
and that was, and also, and what was also said was before that, he'd apologized to her on 3 different occasions.
Right.
Even right after the reunion, she's forgiven him.
Right.
So now that it's been aired, then now it's, you understand what I'm saying? And I get it, you know, it's, you know.
Well, is this. Mario has already apologized on more than one occasion, which he stated, and which she's also stated on this interview, already to Tondy. Yeah? He's already apologized. Bear in mind, this was filmed in October, and he's apologized since then. Which then he came to apologize also on the gram as well, and you guys taught him a new asshole. Alright? Now, in regards to that, if he's already apologized, you know, in person or whatever, this is actually then Tondy's role to actually defend him. Now, I didn't say that when we watched the video where he was apologizing. Remember when they were having the back-to-back talk on the Instagram.
I've been having your back this whole goddamn time. I've been having your back going through all of this stuff, and you have not had mine. You have not had mine.
We had this conversation before.
I'm live, yeah, and you see that Mario. When he's talking to Tondy, and Tondy's saying, obviously, you haven't defended me, da 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 da. And I didn't say anything about that, right? But what I would say is this: is that actually, if I've apologized, and this is true, we're going on the basis that Mario has apologized. If I've apologized 3 times, yeah, it's not in my interest now. It's not me that should be defending you. Tondy should be defending Mario because he's apologized on several occasions. Now, when you're hurt, though, you can't think of it that way, yeah? And I understand that. Now, many people might disagree, but I'm saying it in the sense of if I've apologized on 3 separate occasions, guys, yeah? 3 separate occasions, and you're still you're still trying to make me pay for it, fam, yeah? Then why would you expect me to defend you and not the other way around when people are now attacking me? You know what I'm saying? That's my only thing about Tondy.
Okay. And then even after that, there was no talk, even like, I know Divine and I became close, so we spoke a lot, after filming, like, girl, what you think about this? And, who you like, you know what I mean? Tandy and I, no conversation. Tandy made it very clear of the people that she knew, there, which was Jimmy. And then she mentioned that she knew Divine and that she dated Carrie.
And obviously, Reva kind of clears up the fact that they weren't talking. Now, I think this is the truth as it is. They weren't talking. She's mentioned that they weren't talking. Yes, she might have asked to go on holiday, but because they had a mutual friend, that was sorted. But as she stated again, they never talked, they never called, they don't message, they don't text. You don't call me.
Everybody, we all now had we even had conversations, and even if it just never, like, hey girl, let's link. Never anything like that.
Man, you don't have to call. It's okay, girl. I'ma be alright tonight. You know what I'm saying? Like, you ain't calling. You know what I'm saying? So, as far as I'm concerned, they ain't friends. Yeah, so let's leave that in the pan. Let's dead it. I don't think the audience, though, again, comment down below what you thought. I don't think the audience is slaughtering Reva for being a friend to Tondy. That's why, and standing a man. We're vexed at the way it was done.
You guys are all of us in a couple, so walk us through that.
Okay, so he and Tandy, after the reunion, they did, or not the reunion, but after the finale, he and Tandy did decide that, okay, well, let's see where this goes.
Right.
It didn't go far.
Right.
And I mean, as adults, you have to know what you want. You know what I'm saying?
He was very clear
so like
about
what
that.
he said, I'm too old to just, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I mean, and that's what it was. But it was like, it wasn't no beef. It was like, okay,
Right.
it didn't work out, whatever. So like you said, this is what people do in their day to day anyway. They date somebody, it doesn't work out, they date someone else. I think for us, or for me, the big hoopla was, well, she's supposed to be her friend, so she's a snake and she's a this and she's a that.
Yeah.
So,
and one of the things we know, do you know why I know this was not done properly? When you're able, I remember I was talking to a friend about this, about when people leave relationships in a bad way, when they cheat and they find a new partner, when they didn't tell the previous partner, and it was a bit sketchy, the time scales, yeah, because it is sketchy. That's why in the reunion, Reva couldn't really explain, and she had to say, you don't have to worry about that. Well, you wouldn't have to worry about, why would you not have to worry about that? If everything was cool and legit and honorable, you could have said, well, as you know, we was talking 2 weeks ago, or whatever, But because you feel ashamed as well, and you know that it's going to look bad, she decided, Reva, to say, no, you don't have to worry about that, right? And what is annoying me at the moment is the fact that Reva's come out to do this interview. I need to see Mario on the interview, because right now Reva's getting slaughtered for you both. I'm really vexed about that. It's just when people are honourable and they do things in the right manner, then you don't have to hide details of your relationship. And I remember at a time I was talking to a friend, and we was talking about this, and we were saying that some people, when people are sketchy of how they met, know that that whatever was happening at that time was sketchy. Know that when you're able, and the person hasn't owned up to, let me be real, like when I meet a girl or whatever, you know what I'm saying, if you were in a relationship and I took you from that relationship, I'm gonna find it very hard. You're going to find it very hard to explain to people, oh yeah, I took it from another man. I'm gonna find it very hard. You may have to boast to your boys, but in terms of the general public, you're gonna find it very hard to say that. Very, very hard. Do you know what I'm saying? Because you know what people are gonna say about you. So just listening to Reva and her trying to explain how they met and everything like that, that let me know that it was sketchy. Not only that, this is the reason why I say that, when it comes to people moving on very, very quickly, that you have to almost question it, right? Because people moving on very, very quickly, and I'm going to say my favorite word again, I've experienced this. People moving on very, very quickly, oftentimes, not always, oftentimes, it's because there was an existing relationship there and the person liked the person already beforehand. Or they found them attractive beforehand. This didn't bloom out of the sky and you're suddenly, after a week, now dating. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't work like that. Trust me, dog. It doesn't work like that. So unless there is a prior liking, yeah, there's some attraction there, sexual attraction with the individual, yeah, you like the person, you're fuzzy, you feel me what I'm saying, yeah, you ain't got the power, so that's why people were able to move on quickly. Now we know that already because Mario already said he kind of liked Reva beforehand, so for him to shift to Reva so quickly, it is natural to happen. But again, it proves a point to us as an audience. When your ex or you decide to move on very quickly straight after a relationship, it's because you were already looking somewhere. You were already invested somewhere. Or this is the person that you were lacking in your relationship, but you never did any movements. Now that person's come, you're not wasting time, you're connecting. Come on. And I get it. But you got to own it. You got to own it. You understand? If you don't own it, you look sketchy. All right.
Tandy made it very clear of the people that she knew, there, which was Jimmy, and then she mentioned that she knew Divine and that she dated Carrie.
Cool. Another thing is that she mentioned that that Tondy knew Jimmy, knew Divine, and knew Carrie beforehand, and that I think she even alluded to the fact that there was even some dating going on between Tondy and Carrie, and I was like, oh, okay, now. That makes it a little bit interesting because if you knew, or well, maybe it may be the case that Tondy admitted that on the show because I think she said obviously Tondy made it clear who she was cool with, right? And it's the people that she already knew in it, which is Jimmy, Divine, and Carrie. So that makes it even more interesting in terms of her ended up dating Carrie. Now I don't want to push the narrative here about her going after Tondy's mans because actually, it's a dating show. Right? But the way that Reva did her thing with Carrie, I wonder if that was made known to her at that point. I wonder if... Because now that makes the wine cellar scene interesting even more. Because I already dogged Reva for her behaviour, coming to the wine cellar to try and dog and try to put Carrie underneath the bus. But I'm wondering if Tondy had made mention of the fact that, she had dated Carrie. And that, I guess, maybe her report would have held even more gravity in the group of girls in terms of his behavior. Do you get it? I'm wondering if that happened too. I wonder if maybe she told Reva at that time. Maybe that's why Reva actually really pulled out. We don't know. Just kind of alluding to certain things. But that was interesting as well. But I don't think Reva goes after Tondy's men. I think we've got three scenarios here. Mario, which is a dating show. Carrie is a dating show. And the guy that what actually happened, she admitted this. She admitted that this guy, she didn't know, she doesn't talk to Tondy, doesn't know that's Tondy's man. The guy entered her DMs.
She was involved with that you put hearts under his page.
Okay, so there was a guy that, he came in my DM and it was just like a good morning and, oh, good morning, have a good day type situation. He put a heart he put like 3 hearts under different pictures. So I don't know. I just went back and I put 3 hearts under his pictures.
Okay.
Again, her and I don't talk.
But did you know that they were dating?
No.
Okay.
No, not at that time. Her and I don't talk.
It might have been a bit of a game, a bit of, the interest in there. When someone's giving you attention. Yeah, it might be one of those. but she didn't know that was Tondy's guy. Now, when the friend, obviously, of Tondy, and both of them actually, mutual friend, then said to her, you know, that's Tondy's man, da da da. She said, oh, we're not even trying to go anything that way anyway, so it's calm. So I personally don't feel like I don't feel like Reva goes after Tondy's men. I think we've got, I don't want to say, not even coincidences, we've got close quarters, two within the same show. So it's hard to say.
Didn't follow the guy, she didn't know or whatever. So one day a mutual friend and I were just talking, you know, whatever, and she mentioned it or whatever. And I was like, yeah, I said, well, I don't want him or nothing. It's not nothing like that, you know, whatever. She was like, well, yeah, you know, they've been seeing it. Tandy, however, has never said anything to me. We do not talk. She got these people fooled. We do not talk.
So she
said she confronted me. Okay. But she's never, not until we were on camera at the cabin.
But she probably said something to the mutual friend, and the mutual friend said something to you.
Well, she was like, did you know that they talk? And she said something about putting, and I was like, yeah. I said, no, but that's not the situation with he and I. And it wasn't.
Somebody is lying. Somebody's lying. Somebody tell me. Somebody is lying. Somebody lying. I don't know who, but somebody lying. And somebody got to go down for it, baby. So, yeah, that was interesting as well. Because, obviously, in the end, you know...
The decision to self-eliminate.
Okay, so here's the thing. I was not ready for, like, it seemed cool and something fun, and it was different for me. I've been divorced for 12 years. So my friend's like, yo, you need to try something different.
Mentioned as well that she's been divorced 12 years. And I think, you know, we were talking about walls up and reason why walls are up and stuff like that. That was what I was kind of alluding to. Like, these walls don't come up by themselves. You know, they're walls that are built through intense trauma, pain, going through certain situations in life, and that causing the wall to come up. And I think that's where we see that wall now coming up for Reva. And obviously she's an easy lover, like she said. You know, she even said, you know, I love that man. And I was like, baby girl, it's been 3 months. I need you to relax, baby. Okay? I need you to relax. Take a deep breath. And exhale. You get me?
So everything is great.
Everything. I love that man. Everything is
well,
great.
that's what was supposed to happen.
I was like, the love word, when you got this man in this way, I think you need to relax. Wait a little bit longer. Let's just see where it's going. Do you know what I mean? But I understand, you know, being on that show, then going on holiday, everything's a bit fantasy right now. When you see them in 6 months, let's see what you're saying. Not cussing, I'm just saying.
You want to do that, do that.
Right.
Did you self-eliminate thinking that you guys were going to continue to talk off camera, or were you seriously?
Oh, no. Yeah, no. I was, like, you know, as I said, Mario and I had no dealings.
No dealings. Okay, so that's why I was so confused in the finale, because your energy was just different.
And you know, let me explain why it was different. It was different because, you know, like through the season, I kept it classy. I was chill.
Right.
It
so
wasn't
when you came back and said the best woman won and all that, I was like, what?
Yeah. Okay. So it wasn't until I saw the episodes and her interviews behind the scenes where, you know, it was all the jabs and she said that. So it wasn't it's never been a competition for me, but she did say, may the best woman win, and she even put up the little memes for it.
And obviously Reva actually explains, I guess, the situation in terms of why she acted the way she acted towards Tondy. And that was all to do with the fact that she said she saw the shows back and saw that obviously Tondy was making it about competition. She actually mentioned that that Tondy actually made this whole made the best woman win or whatever comment earlier before she did. And I was like, oh, okay. Now, I have seen a video, and I can't remember whether it was Ready to Love or whether it was one of their pages, where Tondy does say, quite frankly, that it is a competition. And I think it was a cut scene. I think it was a deleted scene. And Reva says, no, it was not a competition. But Tondy said, it is a competition. So, you know, Tondy is competitive. You know, she is a competitive soul. Nothing wrong with that, you know what I'm saying? But it does mean that you will be skewed in how you look at things. You know, you'll be skewed in how you deal with things as well. So that was interesting to see as well. And I guess that kind of pushes towards Reva's point in the sense of this wasn't a competition. She wasn't trying to make it one. It's about love. It's about finding somebody. And the way that she felt like she was acting was in retaliation to that fact that she had been taunted by Tondy. Now, I said this as well, that Tondy had said something on the rooftop, concerning Reva and it was a bit arrogant. I said it was a bit arrogant at the time, where she kind of, just kind of stated that, you know what, like, almost like Reva was not a competition anyway. She should have been out anyway. And it's like, yeah, that's competitive streak coming out. And when it comes out, it can look a bit ugly if you're watching it back. Just saying.
There's a lot of hurt women out there.
Well, let me just say, in everybody's defense, I don't think you guys you all are experienced it, so you know a lot more than we do, right? So I don't think it's wrong for anybody to have feelings for somebody. Both you guys liked him, it makes sense. I thought he carried himself. I thought out of all the couples on there, you all carried yourself the best the entire season. Just my honest opinion. So I thought he was very respectful. It was obvious he didn't want to hurt either one of you.
Right.
So to see him come and turn and be so almost.
I think Reva was responding to some of the comments that she's seeing from women as well. I said, there's a lot of hurt women. And I love the fact the host has said, listen, look, before you go there, I want to say in the defense of the audience, it looked a certain way. And I think that's the key thing here. I definitely understand that, I think even like I've said to you guys on my page, on my channel, I don't want to see some of the comments that people are making. It's sometimes downright rude. And out of bounds. Like, you may not agree with somebody's behavior, but let's keep it constructive and let's keep it like you're saying it from the person's face. Energy. Don't say it like you're a keyboard warrior. And I think some of the stuff that I see sometimes on their comments as well, like I remember I was in the Mario's one, I was like, some of these comments are so harsh. And it's like, I'm not saying I agree with what they were doing, but come on, some of the comments, you know, are treating people like they killed somebody.
That's weird. Let me say something. So, my comments are off right now because people they are off right now,
right?
And that's strictly because, first of all, I mean, if you want to be evil or hate or have your opinions and it's nasty, then you can take that to someone else's page,
right?
But mine will remain off. Like, I don't have time to keep going on my page blocking people, because they're calling me foul names. Like, I have control over that.
Some of the comments that you guys have, and it shows that there is a lot of anger from people that are hurt. And that is something that I think the interviewer actually alluded to, the fact that, a lot of women feel like they're in your position. And when they feel like they're in your position, they are seeing, they've been in the position where Reva's done, when a girl's done what Reva's done. Yeah, and it's painful. And so the comments sometimes reflect what they've experienced. And I totally understand that. That makes sense as well. Because it is painful and it's hard to sometimes deal with and hard to sometimes comprehend. And so sometimes that does spill over to being a keyboard warrior as well. And, just adding on to that as well, I think the host didn't explain again that it was the way that Mario did it. Look, Mario, I think all of us have said the same thing.
It's so much that's not seen,
right,
or that's being said. And then Mario is the type of man, like, he really is a gentleman. It's so much he could have said, and people would have understood.
We were all rooting for Mario, and you know what, like, as the host even alluded to, like, it's the way that it was done. We were all rooting for Mario. We saw him up into that end part of the show, that he was sensible, doing things correctly, but then just at the end, but like the Bible says, not how you start, it's how you finish. You know what I mean? So it was interesting to see that, because that's where we have an issue with. And I think Reva tried to defend it, saying, what do you think, like, what Mario did was wrong, or something along those lines, or was bad or whatever. And we're like, yeah, Reva, like, can't you see this is bad? Brother, my man walked across the stage and then you guys did a little dance. Do you not see anything wrong with that behavior? You know what I'm saying? Do you not see anything that, if we're looking as an audience, that's going to be wrong? Now I know Reva's alluded to the fact that Mario said that, there could have been so much more said and that would expose how Tondy really is. And I'm like, okay, I get it, but how the reunion looks is how the reunion looks. So just explain and say, listen, look, like, that's why obviously this interview's been done, you're clearing up the air, but it's like, we can't see that. We only see what they've shown us. The edit is mad, you know what I'm saying? And that's what they do, but that's what we're looking at. We can't help it because that's what we've been shown. I always say this, you can't comment on something I haven't seen.
Because, and I'll say it, they didn't want Tandy to be, they didn't want Tandy to know, because they was afraid she wouldn't come to the reunion.
Right.
And then it was almost like...
As much as I want to blame Mario and Tondy the way they behaved on the reunion as well, OWN TV got to take some responsibility here. They wanted, by the words of Reva, they wanted Mario and Reva to state that they were now in a relationship, that the experiment had worked. But they weren't originally going to mention it because obviously with Tondy there, etc., etc. What is interesting is the fact that obviously they mentioned the fact that Tondy wouldn't have come if they had mentioned it prior. So they had to mention it on the show. So this is genuine beef. So this girl had no clue. Tondy was none the wiser, baby. She was blindsided, baby. You know what I mean? So none the wiser, and this is live footage, drama. This should let you know about TV, and this should let you know about production. They got to do what they got to do. You understand? So when we give them a foothold, they take an inch. I don't know if an inch is bigger than a foot, but you get what I'm saying. Yeah.
The women that are in that situation,
I've been in that situation.
Right, we
Well, what
all
they
have.
think that I did.
Right.
But
well, everybody's been in a situation where a guy picks someone else.
yeah.
And we will continue to be until you find the right one. So I think people are reacting off of seeing that handled so coldly, right? So is there anything that you could say? Because I think
Goes, you know, quickly, like, well, I've been that woman too. And it's almost like, you know, again, she wants to deflect the responsibility and the accountability of what she's done and what Mario's done onto, hey, but I'm also that woman too. Like, I'm also a victim here as well. Like, and we get it. You probably have been a victim in the past, but today you're the aggressor, and therefore we got to deal with you as the aggressor and nothing else, unfortunately. So that was quite interesting as well. I think just watching that, I was just intrigued by that as well, and I think to myself, right, okay, you know, I think just going forward, Mario and Reva, I hope them the best, and I hope they can make it work as well, and I hope it's long life and long relationship. They do look good together though. I mean, the energy seems right, but yeah, I think, you know, I mean, I think Tondy also has got some part to play in this because obviously the Instagram live is 3 months after this whole thing's happened, and if you still want him to feel a certain way, rather than, you know, he's already apologized, everything like that, what do you want my man to do? Do you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, guys, comment down below. What's your thoughts? What do you think about the whole thing? Let us know your thoughts and feelings going forward as well. Hey, this is Little Black Book. You already know what time it is, baby. Are you mad? Are you mad? Are you lean? Don't forget to click the bell button for the notification of uploads. Be the first on the scene, baby. You got the power. Yeah, baby. Appreciate y'all.